situation with Aaron Hernandez. It's very sad. You know, a lot of people, unfortunately, there's the double standard where with Stevie Steve, everyone is saying, kill him and we're glad he's dead. With Aaron Hernandez, everybody feels some type of sympathy for him, and we know that he was convicted of one murder if he was acquitted of two others. But why do we even treat him differently? The fame?
No, you know, I don't, because for me, I was totally, like I said, I've kind of had mixed emotions and changed of hearts with the Hernandez case, especially since the suicide. Because I was kind of like, my mindset was just what we were just talking about. There is no way in the world, if I got to that point for playing a kid's game, making that kind of money, that I'd do anything wrong.
Right.
But then when you start getting into mental issues,
Right.
when you start getting into parental influence,
Right.
and then when you start looking at everything else in the picture, it is just a sad case, because that's what I posted on my page when I first saw it, was this is just a sad story altogether, because not only that, he has a 4-year-old daughter now that may wind up the same way he was, because remember, supposedly he started going off when his father died.
Right.
What's to say his 4-year-old girl now is not going to start going off because she's dead?
And it's the cycle. It's the cycle, the vicious cycle continuing. For one, you know, the question is, how come when things happen in the hood, a brother gets killed, a father gets killed, they're not sending grief counselors to the schools? Now, we know that with other instances like Columbine, there's a mass shooting. Many more people are affected. You know what I mean? So they're sending grief counselors there. But are we using the resources that we have for counseling, therapy? If we don't have insurance, are we able to get the help that we need? You know what I mean? Because that little girl is going to need counseling.
I think that, I mean, cause I followed the case, and I thought the fiance, I thought she was crazy as well. I mean, but I can't imagine, if she was crazy when he was alive, I can't imagine her now. Because I don't think those two had gotten married, but she had gone to the lengths of now hyphenating her name with his last name.
They didn't allow her to get married because that would have excused her from having to testify against him. Well, so they didn't allow them to get married. She had gone on
and taken the step. She had now hyphened her name and had Hernandez as the last name.
Right.
So, and she would not back off of her testimony, regardless of how they asked the question or how she did not back down. So, in terms of that, now he's left her. He's left a 4-year-old plus whatever other family members he had. But it's just, I mean, it is just a bad example of making it and still not being able to make it.
Very upsetting. Because, as we said before the break, money is not the healer.
No,
it is a means to make your lifestyle better, but you need other things in place.
Correct.
Okay, so let's look at the fact that some people are saying, okay, he could have CTE. All right, his upbringing, we already know his father was a bad influence. I mean, I don't want to speak negatively, but he idolized his father, and his father was a known street person. Let's say person. I'm not going to call him a thug. He's not here. The company that you keep, when you are now successful, and your friends say you done sold out, and now you don't, you know, you think you're better now. We have the other instance where people are trying to bring their friends along into their success, and their friends are messing it up for them because they don't know how to carry themselves wherever they go. I mean, it's kind of like Fetty Wap is another example of, you know, do you turn your back on the hood? Do you still show the hood love when the hood doesn't love you anymore? You know, we'll get to that too. But in terms of Aaron Hernandez, because he really had a promising, we're not talking, I mean, he was at the top.
You know what's really scary for me with that is Aaron and my daughter, my oldest daughter, are the same age, 27. Okay. They were both born in 1989. And so when I look at that case, I'm like, wow, I got a child. Aaron could have been my son. Mm-hmm. All right? Because I have a child that's Aaron's age, 27 years old. So that's really scary for me that somebody in that part, the prime of their life,
right,
like I just said, who for the most part it made it. You're on the New England Patriots. I hate the Patriots, but he on the New England Patriots, won a Super Bowl, had everything going for him. Had his fiance, his child. So why are you out there killing and thugging and bullying and all this, that, and the other? That's the question. And back to your question about the friends. All right, I guess the type of friends you have before you make it are the same type of friends you have when you make it, but the question becomes, can they handle your success?
Right.
And then if they can't, that becomes an issue, because we were talking off the air about jealousy.
Right.
Well, how come you made it and I didn't make it? Well, I could have been there too.
And you know, nobody. So now they're putting him in a position where, because even with Odin Lloyd, well, see, with Odin Lloyd was a threat because Odin Lloyd knew what happened with the two other guys. So now that was a threat to his success. So he kind of felt like the only option is to off this guy so that I can keep living my fairy tale life. You know what I mean?
But you know what? He was still doing things in the fairy tale life. That's
Right,
the crazy part.
right,
Because
right,
even
right,
in
right.
college, I
Yeah,
didn't know,
he got in a lot of trouble.
I didn't know
He got
until
in a
the
lot
other
of trouble.
day that him and Tim Tebow were roommates. Now, you talk about like opposite
Night and
ends.
day.
You talk about
Night
night
and
and day.
day.
You got
Right.
Aaron Hernandez and
Right.
Tim Tebow as
But
roommates.
they tried to put them, you know, his coaches gave these people to him to try to help him
Right.
stay on the straight and narrow.
Right.
They were reading him Bible verses at
Right.
7 in the morning. So they saw the ticking time bomb that was going on, you know, and tried to save him. Unfortunately, you know, the thing that really we need to also understand is that the girlfriend is going to bear the brunt of all of the blame because this is her sister's boyfriend. So she chose a side. She said, listen, I'm going with my baby daddy. I mean, I love y'all. I was raised with y'all, but y'all can't give me millions of dollars to live off of. And I have a daughter now. But the thing is that her mental instability, or however it's going to affect her, it's going to trickle down to her daughter. You're talking about her
That's
daughter.
what we're talking
How
about
is she going to right now raise her daughter in a healthy mindset with everything that's on her? You know what I mean? Because we can blame her for loving this guy. You know what I mean? But she didn't pull the trigger. You know, she's not the cause of all of this, but she was riding. She was a ride or die. So when you ride or die, you get the same guilty
you ride or
conviction,
die.
right?
That's right.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, with the company that we keep, it's really, you know, people can influence us because they don't see that they have the same opportunity, and they don't even think that you may give them or you may leave them. So now they're putting you in situations where you lose what you have.
Right. That's absolutely
Does
right.
this apply to all different cases? Like, far as like where your friends influence and you don't want to leave them behind? Does
It
that apply
absolutely
all
does to
famous
me.
People
It's
and
not just famous
cases
people. Because I know, listen, some of us, I
Because
say
I'm pretty
us.
sure, for example, randomly, like, what's on topic, say if Adele made it and she keeps all her friends and she decides to, you know, do drugs and stuff like that and commit a murder or something. I just don't think that totally that you could blame like his friends and his other
I think you need to surround yourself
you can't
with people
blame
who
his
have the same
dad
vision you have.
Yes, like-minded
you need,
people.
Right, you need to have
Because you
like-minded,
are,
and
you
need to
become
surround yourself.
torn between
Right.
your loyalty to yourself and your loyalty, because it's called, people tell you all the time, don't dumb yourself down.
Right.
Now, I will speak for myself. I went to college. A lot of my friends did not go to college, right? So now I have a career. A lot of my friends were struggling with issues. They didn't have a career. You know, I didn't want to feel like I'm better. So now I'm surrounding myself in situations that could even affect my career because I don't want to feel that I'm better than somebody. And it's not necessarily being better. It's saving yourself when people that you're around can't even save themselves. Like it's like kind of like if somebody doesn't love themselves, how can you expect them to love you? But we're showing love to people that can't show us the love back.
Right. I'm just saying, like, this guy who has, like, you know, thousands and millions of dollars, he goes and, like, commits a crime.
Right.
And you can't blame anyone else but him. That's for his actions.
That's true.
He
Right.
decided to do whatever
That's
he
true.
did
Right.
to,
Yeah,
you
but
know,
see-
no matter who he tried to, whether if he was trying to impress someone, whether he was trying to, you know, make himself clear that he still was a quote unquote about that life
Right.
or whatever, you can't blame anyone
That's
but
bad.
him. And, you know, even if it comes down to him smoking drugs or
Right.
K2 or whatever drugs, if he was on any drugs,
Right.
and that's him. Like, you know,
Well, you
that's
know,
his
at the end
choices.
of the day, right. You
It's
just
him,
said
but
it,
it's not.
choices.
He's not the last, and this is why it's an issue. He's not the first. We've seen people have tremendous opportunities and throw it all away.
Lamar
And then
Odom.
we're sitting
another one.
here, and we're sitting here. We feel like if we had those opportunities, if I could get Bill O'Reilly's job, I'll help the community. I'll do this. I'll do that. So we can't figure out why certain people get those opportunities and other people don't.
And once they get them, they blow them. I mean,
Absolutely.
that's the part that
Well,
intrigues
We
me.
have a
know.
break. We have a commercial
Okay.
coming, and we'll come back again.
We'll be
It's the
back.
Boss Lady Chronicles radio show.
But like, we never know like what we'll do if we can say, okay.